Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, and I'm one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network. And this is our first time that we're broadcasting Wow Wednesday live in our community group for Women's Prosperity Network. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wow. We call this Wow Wednesday because, everybody can just go for a hump day and like, oh my gosh, it's the middle of the week. I can't wait for the weekend. But we wanted you to realize and choose that every day has the potential to be a wow day. So rather than just waiting for the weekend, how about we make today a wow day? So join us. And if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and put in the chats that you say, I'm claiming a wow day. I'm choosing a wow day. And I know that you will be wowed by our guest today. I'll be bringing on Nzhengha Waseme in just a moment. So hi, Nzhengha. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you for being our first guest on Wow Wednesday broadcast live and working with us on those challenges. So I appreciate you and being so patient and open to this process.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And for those, I know there's many of you watching right now. Some of you are going to catch this on a replay. Some of you are here with us live. And the way the structure of this conversation goes is we bring on a guest and have a conversation and interview in their area of expertise. Today, we're going to be talking about how to protect your brilliance, your creativity, and all of those things that you pour your soul into creating. And what we're talking about is intellectual property rights. Nzhengha is an attorney, and we're going to be talking about how you do go ahead and protect yourself there. And the structure is we'll go for about 30 minutes, and then we will open up for question and answer. So for those of you that are here with us, you'll be able to unmute yourself when we get to that point in time, and then we'll go for some Q&A with our guest. Now, let me just mention, Wow Wednesday has been a part of the community and what we provide to our community in Women's Prosperity Network since 2009. So imagine this. I had this idea, and I'm sharing this because you as entrepreneurs, you come up with ideas, right? Oh, maybe that would be a good idea, right? So I came up with this idea back in 2009, how can we support our community further? And then I thought, there's lots of inspiration and motivation that people offer on Mondays. And I thought, what if I did something on a Wednesday morning, kind of like a midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration? And it kind of took off because we've been here with our community every single Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern since 2009. So I share this with you so that when you get that inspired idea to be of service and to add value, take action. And the rewards will just multiply in your own life and as well as in the lives of everyone you touch. And with that, I'm going to segue to our guest this morning, who her spirit, her heart, and her commitment to serve people who are creative entrepreneurs is unmatched in any other realm. She is an attorney who is really on a mission to make sure that every creative gets what they deserve, that they are honored, that they have the ability as financially to move forward, because when you protect your legal intellectual property, you're able to monetize it, get royalties. And I don't know how deep we'll go into some of that stuff today, but please help me welcome Nzhengha Waseme.
Thank you, Nancy. I'm happy to be here. And you're right, that is my life's passion and purpose, to be of service to creatives. The world, what would we be without creatives,
Yes.
without ideas? And I love how President Biden, in his proclamation, right, where he stated exactly that. He said 90% of jobs come from new ideas. And new ideas, he was referring to ideas that come from small businesses, entrepreneurs, artists. That's where they come from. I think he said 3/4 of our economy is from these new ideas. So I just want to, I'm just happy because, when you know something, then you get an affirmation from out there. That was an affirmation for me that we are absolutely on the right track. And I joked about it. We were doing a 4-day series celebrating World IP Day. And I sort of joked that maybe President Biden was watching my prior webinars. And I kind of wanted to put that out there, joking, yeah, but it was almost saying exactly what we talk about here at Artworks. So it's just great to have that affirmation.
It is. So thank you for making time to be with us. And for those of you just meeting Nzhengha for the first time, she has a rich and robust background and history, and you can find out all about her at the website artworksincubator.com. Is that the best place for them to find out more about you and all the things that you do?
Well, actually, that site there is for our training program for attorneys. So anyone can jump right in there and see what we do. You can learn a lot about intellectual property, and you can also reach me, but I just want to put it out there that website is more about the training that we do. So that leads into what you were saying earlier about my passion. The USPTO, the World Intellectual Property Organization, and now President Biden, they've all said that there are not enough attorneys to serve. So that's why we opened up Artworks, to just not have anyone turned away for lack of funds. No one's turned away for not knowing which area of IP they need. We really want to serve. And so I'm really happy. We've been doing this for a while, but I'm happy to have so many organizations speaking out and supporting what we do. This is an exciting time for us here at Artworks, for the American Bar Association to say this is the only approved, endorsed organization that does what we do. So we're here to serve, and I'm happy to be here with WPN. Of course, I love being a part of WPN, and WPN is a whole home, right, for creative women. And so I'm happy to be able to talk about IP. Want to do a little bit of that today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, so let's dive into serving all of the women, and there's probably some men here too, who are creative entrepreneurs. So let's first define that term. Because for me, I'm not creative. I can't play music while I'm learning guitar. I can't draw. I can't, the term creative is often, misunderstood.
And so you want to define creative. I used to say that too. I would say my mantra was like, I'm not creative, but I can spot creativity. I would say that, and I want to support creativity. But what I realized, and I think you helped me understand that as well, that in creating anything, right, whether it's a business, a book, a screenplay, it could be a widget. I'm showing my age when I say widget. It could be a device.
There you go.
It could be a device. But any idea, and you know what it is because you feel it in your belly or in your chest when it's like, okay, I have to share this with the world. And so what we try to do is, like, before you share too much, let's make sure it's protected. In WPN and a lot of the circles that I am in, we're so much in the positive, the universe and law of attraction. But as an attorney, I am very much well aware that as we create, if it's not protected, someone's going to take it. There is no business. There's nothing out there that exists without IP. Nothing business-wise that exists without IP. So I always tell people, if you don't monetize it, somebody's gonna, right? Somebody's gonna, and they're either gonna take it because you didn't protect it, or take it and then pay you because you protected it and now they owe you. That type of thing happens, or they're just going to take it and it's just going to become public domain. So that does happen. As much as I like to stay in the woo-woo space, it does happen.
Well, it does happen. And so if you think about protecting your assets, writing a book, creating a course, starting your company, and, getting the trademark of the name and all those other things, think of it as, would you buy a car and drive a vehicle on the road without having auto insurance? Probably not. It's just a protection. It's not like you're saying, I'm thinking negative, so something bad's going to happen. No, it's really about having a thorough approach to ensuring, here's the way to think about it, ensuring that what you've created will continue to live on.
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. So we got a nice foundation around that. And I get confused. Trademarks, I think of a trademark as something for a name. I think of patent as something for a widget or a device, or spacely sprockets, as came to mind. But anyway, that's my age showing from the Jetsons. Um, and there's registered. There's a lot going on inside of that space. So can you give us, some guidelines? And I know that you have a free IP guide
Yes.
for everybody, and you can just go to, I think it's freeipguide.com. Just go there and you'll be able to access it.
Right. And so I did create that guide because it gets a little hairy, right? Especially if you're dealing with some sort of IP that overlaps. Like, for example, an app. You can copyright that, you can patent that, and you can also protect the branding of it through trademark. So
Wow.
when you talk about trademark, think about branding. Just reduce it to branding. What is the look and feel of your business or your idea that you want to put out there? So yes, it can be a name, but it can be a graphic. I even go so far to say, and not just me, the law goes so far to say that, like, if it can be perceived. Ooh, and this is a woo-woo crowd, right? So we can talk about, what you're perceiving. So you can perceive by audio, right? So I always sing this little song, and I know my students are sick of me saying it, but da 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 da, I'm loving it. So what do you think of when you hear that?
McDonald's?
Exactly. So anything like that, whether it's a word, a sound, a phrase, an image that makes you think of the source of the product or service, that's a trademark. So when you jump over to copyright and patents, that's the actual product. So product can be a book, product can be a screenplay. You want to put those
Okay, wait, slow down.
Sorry.
Blew my mind with McDonald's. So that little snippet, that has been copyrighted?
I don't know if it. I don't know. No. Remember it's the sound, the phrase, the word, the picture, the image that makes you think of it becomes a trademark. So I'm not actually sure if they registered it, but they could. We already know the golden arches can be registered, because when you see the golden arches, you don't wonder where your fries come from. I guess it's obvious that I'm on a fast because I'm talking about fries. But so remember, trademark is about when you see it or hear it, right? What does it make you think of?
Right. So, for example, in our community, Women's Prosperity Network, I was just talking with my friend Mark Porteous the other day, who was on WOW a few weeks ago. And he said, every time I hear somebody say, yes, 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 I think of you. And when somebody asks for a reply, I say, yes, yes, yes. Like, if you know our community, like, wouldn't that be awesome if everywhere, yes, 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 Women's Prosperity Network?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So a phrase, right? So not just the name of the business, maybe you have some really cool tagline or just something that feels good, that catches on, or it's going to catch on. Then you want to think of trademark.
Okay, so you would trademark the phrase, the slogan that goes with your brand.
Anything that invokes the brand. Just think of the brand, not the product, just the brand.
Okay, so let's talk about, we got a lot of people who create courses, online courses. Is there some way that we're supposed to protect that content? Like, on all my documents, I put that little C at the bottom, copyright, but that's all I do.
Right.
So is that enough?
Let's see. So when you put the C there, it puts the world on notice that it's yours and you're not just throwing it out there into public domain. But you want to get it registered because, one, it's inexpensive. Let me do it for you. It's not that deep. It's, just take care of it. Because if someone takes the content and it's not registered as a copyright, you can't get anything from it. So if somebody takes it, say another country, they take it, they translate it, and they make $1 billion, you can, put up a fight to stop them. And if you win by showing that I created it first, that's all you're going to do is stop them. You're not going to get the billions. They keep the billions. And what do they care? Because they're going to move on to the next work that's not registered and make a billion there. And I will even go so far. Recently, courts are even saying that if it's not registered, we're just throwing the case out. The case was just dismissed several weeks ago between a photographer and a model that put something up. And the court said, well, you didn't register it. You own it, but if you didn't put it into commerce, right? And putting it to commerce means that that's how you avail yourself of all of these rights. So I hate when that happens, because even if you won, even if you don't get a court that tosses it and then they say they recognize your work, you don't get that money. And then now you've paid all these legal fees for litigation. If it's registered, you get your litigation fees, you get that billions, and you get the recognition to license it on for somebody else to use if you desire.
Beautiful. So you want to, the process of the copyright, like how much of a cost is that? I'm just curious.
Well, the biggest cost is going to be in your legal fees. I got to tell you that. So that's why artworks exist. So that's not a barrier for you. But the fee range, it's not going to be even $100. So I'm pausing because it varies depending on what type of claim you're going to do, what class you're going to put it in. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to be more than $85.
So sure. Let's say you create and lots of people do a signature talk or a proprietary system process that they move people through, and you're out there selling it. You're selling this course or this program that has videos, audios, written content in it. You want to copyright that so that it becomes proprietary. And if it's not a lot of money and you're selling, let's say you're selling a course for $500 and you sell 100 of them, right? That's, $50,000, or even 10 of them is $5,000. Protect it through this copyright. I hadn't thought to that level. I'm so glad we're discussing this. Good. Let's move on. So we talked a little bit about copyrights. And again, I want to encourage everyone to go and get the guide, which you can get at freeipguide.com. So just go to freeipguide.com. And Nzhengha did share with me, she's going to be doing a workshop, an online workshop, to really help people on a more individual basis to find out, to learn more. What do you need to protect and stuff like that. Let's talk more about the types of different IP assets laws that people want to be able to do. And protecting them, writing books, right. Artwork, things like that.
I would like to, when you get into the monster of intellectual property, it can just be too much to untangle all of that. So I always encourage people to think, what do you want to do with your idea? So you may have a book. We have a client that wrote a children's book, and that's what he's thinking of. I have a children's book, right? And he wants to protect it in that way, but he's not aware that book may be amazing and gets picked up, or the idea is fun. And before you know it, it actually happened. Someone approached him and wanted to promote it. Guess what comes out of there? A jingle. That needs to be his. He needs to own that.
Right.
It's a children's book, so think about animation.
All right? The individual characters, like Pokemon. Like, look at all
the exactly. So it always grows, it always expands. And so if you just protect that little piece, what the United States Copyright Office will allow you to do is to come back like, okay, I protected this as a book. I'm going to build up on that. And now it's protected as a motion picture or a film or like you said, where you talked about you're creating a character, not Pokemon, but something that goes with this. Or eventually, I think they were talking about getting the images that's from the book on a lunchbox thermos. Mm-hmm. It just grows, right? And we don't know where it's going to go, but if you protect that seed, we don't know when it's going to happen. That just comes out of, nowhere, really. It just comes out.
And protecting the seed is, low cost, low friction. It's easy to do. And so if you have a body of work, so I'm thinking of one of our clients has a book series that has characters. It's a children's book with characters in it. So copyright that book, and it will start with the characters in it. So somebody else couldn't come and take those characters necessarily. Is that correct?
Yes. And you want to protect it. You want to have that protected.
I want to talk about books for a moment, because you brought this up and it was an awareness I did not have. So lots of authors in our community, many of you have written books, myself included, and the ISBN number, which I don't know what that stands for, but when you get a book, you have to have an ISBN number. Does that include the copyright protection that you're talking about here, so that someone else can't take a chunk of your book and go publish it somewhere else?
No, we actually have a division that will purchase a ton of ISBN. So as we work with our clients, we assign them. So we have a bunch of them, and there aren't any publications or books that go with them. So having that is just having it.
Right.
And
So, yeah, and so, I write a book, I assign the ISBN number to it. Is that copyrighted, or is there another step that needs to be taken?
it has to go to Library of Congress. So, I mean, I would have to look and see exactly what the situation is. I don't want to give a broad answer to that, because we've had people come, they have that, but they don't have a copyright, or they have a copyright and then they don't have it, or they're somewhere in between.
Okay.
So, we've worked with people that, with publishing companies, and they've given them that and they think they're good. And then we call publishing companies saying we can't find it. And they're like, oh, well, we don't offer that service. We'll tell your clients that, So
this is an important question to ask when you're being published. Does it include, so you get me the ISBN number, or you're also putting it in the catalog at the Library of Congress? That's the question we need to ask.
Yes, you have to ask that. You have to ask that. Like I said, we've had clients that have that, and then they're like, I'm already protected with my copyright, and they're not. Then they circle back to the publishing company, and then the publishing company is saying, oh, the pandemic. Well, I know. Intellectual property attorneys know that this is the one practice area that didn't stop due to the pandemic. So what I know they did is they circled back and try to push something quickly through the copyright office. But if you ask that going in, you won't have that problem.
All right, so everybody make sure you ask the question specifically, will you place this in the Library of Congress for the copyright? That's the question we need to ask.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And no, you want to write it. You don't want to say it. You want
to yeah. Document everything. I love lawyers.
Yes.
I do. All right, and we're going to open up for Q&A in a moment, and I'm trusting that this new process and platform is going to work out perfectly. Look at me to start all this new stuff while Mercury is retrograde. I have faith. Trust. So, my friend, tell us what else do we need to know? We'll get the guide, thefreeipguide.com. What else do we need to know to protect ourselves, or kind of explore what type of things we want to be getting some guidance and protections around?
Well, like I said, you want to consider where you personally want to go. If some people have a one-up idea and that's it, so they protect that, they're good. Then we also deal with artists that are serial creatives, right? They're producing something. And so those are the type of people we like to say, okay, listen, come to Artworks and we'll make sure you're on rotation, where you're registered every month or every quarter or every year, how often you produce. And that's important, because what we do as a society now is we create something and we throw it onto the internet, right? Because we want to share it, right? We have this great thing we want to share with the world, which is good, but you need to make sure you're on rotation so that it's protected constantly. And like I said, it's very inexpensive. The other thing that I want to point out, so that's the first thing. The other thing I want to mention is with regards to patents. That's with regards to copyrights. With regards to patents, do not put it out there ever, because once you share it with the public, it immediately becomes unprotectable through a patent. So that is very important. Don't share it at all. If you're creating something, even a business system, do you know you can protect that by patent? Don't share it. Don't share it. Make sure it's protected first. But with copyrights, you can there's a little leeway we can share and register, and just keep that banter going. So that's what I want to say.
We got some questions in the chat. Are you ready?
I think so.
All right. So I'm going to be looking around to make sure that I get everybody covered. And if you would like to ask a question, and you're listening in by the phone, you can go ahead and hit *6 on your phone for those who are joining us by phone. If you're on your computer, just raise your hand or place the question in the chat. Or if you're on Facebook, you can place the question there. So I'm going to go find those questions. First up, we're going to go with Roz. And Roz, be happy to bring you up on the screen. Let's go ahead and get you on with us. So Roz's question is, can we buy bulk registrations for all our words and phrases? So Roz, can you come on now? Let me see. And Nzhengha, take it away while I bring on Roz.
Okay, so can you buy both registrations?
Can you buy bulk registrations? So,
bulk.
Yeah, so, so for example, Roz always says, I'm going to see if I can get it right. You are loved, celebrated, appreciated, and valued. How'd I do, Roz?
You did it, baby girl.
I got it?
Yes. So, Nzhengha, I have, you are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. That is a line that I've been saying for years and years and years. So this is a blessing to have you. And I even asked about the retainer fees to have you for the rest of our life. How does that work? Whatever that is. But when it comes to words and phrases, how do we get those copyrighted so other people aren't just using it nilly-willy, because they think it's cool. And I got blessed by God to get it first. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. When you deal with words and phrases, you're thinking about copyright, but you also want to consider trademark. It depends on how you're using it. So if you copyright a really cool phrase that's inspiring and you're not using it with a business, then it can't be registered by trademark. It can't, right? But if you protect it by copyright, which you can, copyright says if you created it, I love copyright because the Copyright Office doesn't play God, right? They don't say it is or it isn't. If you created it and you're the first one and you show that, you're good. They recognize that. So, but registering it with the Copyright Office, it's just saying this is an art. This is my artwork. Okay. If someone takes that and decides to use it for a business, remember, you didn't say you wanted to use it for a business. So then now you get into a whole hairy space. So that's what I always question. What are you going to use the words and phrases for? If you're going to protect it by copyright, is it a book of phrases? That's what I would need to know. Is that what it is? A book of phrases, really cool phrases that you want to license or use for a business?
It's a power phrase, but because you're teaching us today, it now has gone to another level and realm to be a business because I'm creating cards, T-shirts, and, a lot of memorabilia things for it. So now that could be the business. Because like I said, we're here with you. You're the expert, and I don't know, but I'm learning today. So let's birth the business because it's mine. It's there. It's created, and I use it every time. I mean, a lot of people know it. They try and say it, and I'm known for that when I come on a call. So yes. So that.
So in that way, yes, I would suggest that phrase be protected by trademark. But to answer the original question, now that I have more information, yes, you can protect that as a collection.
Okay.
When you said in bulk, that would be a collection. Or if you did it through, it could be like a serial, or like a series, or considered a derivative work. Like you can build on it. So yes, the answer is yes. The answer is yes.
And Roz, I love your second question, which you mentioned. Are there retainer packages that they can be connected and have you for life?
Have me for life? Well, actually, I am working on, and as you know about this, I am working on a membership so that people can have access to an attorney, myself, or other senior attorneys. Yes, for life, if you'd like to. And we're still working on that. So if you go ahead and download the free IP guide, then I will definitely send you more information on how to have that membership. Or if you don't want to do the membership, how to get connected with myself or another attorney, and then that's your personal attorney. But yeah, if you download that, I'll definitely send that information because it's a lot. And I know when to get to other questions.
Okay, just make sure that it's premium so that I know you got good folk, But since starting off, I want to get with my WPN sister, who is the attorney, who is the expert. So just make sure that's clarified. So when I have my appointment, I know I'm getting you.
You know what? When I always tell people that when I do webinars, I'll say, mention that you're a WPN member. And if you don't know what that means, then you don't know. But if you do know, then you know. So I always mention that. So yes, make sure you put that in there. So I will sign out for you.
You are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. Thank you, Nzhengha. Thank you, Nancy.
You are so welcome, my friend, and you are well known for that. That is so sure. It's beautiful. All right, we've got another question here. I'm not sure who this is from, and if you would like to answer this one, so come on live. We'd love to have you join us. So the question is, if you're a startup company and you create unique designs in party supply space, how do you protect them from being copied? So we may need to get more clarity on this one. Let me see if I can find you. Hit *6. I'm not sure who this is. So, hello? There you go. So a startup company creating unique designs in party supply space. Do you have any suggestions on that one?
So the designs themselves for the product in the startup company, that's what the unique design is?
I think so. Nora, is that you asking this question? I see you.
Yes, it's me.
Good. Thank you for coming live with us.
Yeah, so what we are doing is that we're creating unique invitation designs and curated products in a party supply space. And so the designs that we are creating, they're not the everyday that you go to Party City to get. So the concern is that what do we need to do to kind of protect those designs so they can't be copied, and used in the same similar line?
Okay, so so the way you do that, that's some proprietary system that we created here at ARCS, and I don't want to put it on Facebook, but I will say you want to catalog it, right? And you know that you can copyright or register the catalog with the Copyright Office. So that is, you understand?
Okay.
So it's a collection, and a lot of times people do have a catalog. They have online catalogs. They have, like back in the day, remember Sears? And they didn't protect it because they were just interested in sales, right? So now we're not just sales, but like you said, copying my unique design.
Right.
Love that.
Okay, so create a catalog and then you copyright it.
Yes, and then you can register that.
And then reach out to Nzhengha.
Right. That's just the first step. I don't want you to think that's the end all be all, but that's the end all that I'll share on Facebook.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nora, for joining us and what you're doing here. So we're taking questions live either on Facebook. If you're with us, you can hit *6 on your phone, and we'll be able to bring you on live, or go ahead and if you're at your computer and you want to put your question in the Q&A section or the chat, we are here for you with Nzhengha Waseme. Be sure you go to freeipguide.com and download the guide, and then you'll also be notified. I know that Nzhengha's working on not only the collective and the membership for creatives to get this access and information on an ongoing basis, but some workshops that she has coming up just for you. So here's a question from Lotus Ritchie off of Facebook, and she asks, many of my clients need your services. How does your company make it affordable for those that may not have thousands up front to invest, but desperately need your help? And I think this is a great place to tell them about Artworks, right?
Right. Well, that is important. And we like working with companies like you, or we'll work with managers of recording artists, right? The recording artist may not want to get into this, but the business manager should. So we have already created packages for those types of companies like yours, where you have maybe you don't have individually a bunch, but collectively your clients, may have a lot that need to be protected. So yeah, get with me on that, and we can talk about what type of work that your clients are producing that needs to be protected. We can talk about, I'm sure you know, their vision and all the things I already talked about, like in terms of knowing where the vision is, where they want to go, or however you're assisting them to get there. I would want to know if your clients are individuals or if they're entities. And if they're individuals, if the individuals desire entity formation, we would have to talk about all that. But I love working with organizations like you because you kind of know a little bit more about this space, and we can jump right into the work of protection and business strategy and just go a little bit deeper. So yeah, we work with companies like you.
Fantastic. Good stuff. All right, here we go. We got more questions coming in. Can I assume that trademark, patent, and copyrighted content/design is protected only if I'm willing and able to defend against it?
Only what?
So if I'm paraphrasing Andrea's question here, so I go ahead, I get a trademark, a patent, or a copyright, and somebody encroaches on that or starts to use it, I've got to spend a lot of legal fees to now go and defend it. Like I can have a copyright, but if I'm not willing to fight the battle if somebody takes it, is kind of what the question is.
Well, the cool thing about it is that there's artworks. I keep pointing back to that, but the bigger thing here is if it's protected and you do invest in legal fees, or you are able to work with an organization that will support you this process, you get all that back. You understand? So whether it's $500 or $5,000 in legal fees, you'll get it all back because you registered.
Okay, that's
right. Because what they want to do is punish people that infringe. So it's not just you fight the battle and you okay, so now you have an injunction and you can't use it anymore. You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay the legal fees and you're going to pay the profits you made from stealing the work.
So great, perfect answer. And I do have a question. So do attorneys take those kinds of cases on a contingency fee basis?
I'm sure there are attorneys that do that.
Yeah, because
I've done that myself. Yeah, I've done that.
I'm a creative and somebody encroached and I want to take them to suit, but I'm a creative. I may not have a whole lot of money, right, to hire an attorney and go through that expense. So there are some attorneys who would do that on a contingency fee.
Yeah, like if you wrote a song and you protected it and Beyonce has it on her album, I would definitely take that on contingency because she will have made a ton of money from it and it'll be all yours. I'm going to definitely get behind that. My point is attorneys will really evaluate, well, how much was made off of it, what is the likelihood of the return and all of that. They're not just looking at whether you'll be paid or they'll be paid for the legal fees. They want to make sure it's worth it for you as well. I mean, I think that's what I teach.
That's how you would approach it, which is beautiful. All right, good. We got another question here. Actually, I think this ties in. Simone asked, how costly is it to go after the person, place, or organization that stole the protected property?
How costly is it? Well, like I said, it depends on who it is, right? Remember, sometimes large organizations, they'll take work on intentionally and they don't care. And even if they lose in court, they don't care because they have money to lose that way.
Right.
So that can be costly.
Yeah.
But like I said, at the end of the day, the court will punish them. And so my argument is always that the punishment needs to be strong enough. So if you made $1 billion, I want you, I mean, if that person that stole it made $1 billion, I want you as the artist to get the $1 billion, maybe double it, maybe triple it. It can't be just it has to be something strong enough so that they get the picture. So how costly can it be? It can go like I said, anywhere from $500 to $50,000. But like you said, Nancy, if you're working with a really good attorney that can assist you in that and then just take it in the back, at least you got your work back and the profits from it.
Good stuff. All right, I got more in the chat on Facebook, and I'm having fun. So just give me a thumbs up, y'all. Are you liking this new format? We got more exposure going on, more people being able to get access to amazing experts such as this. So tell me if you like it. And I'm going to answer more questions. So here we go. I'm going to bring on Susan Winner. Good morning, Susan. You can unmute yourself somehow. I'm not sure how, but you'll figure that out. Susan, you have your hand raised, and I'm going to ask you to unmute. Are you able to do that? I guess not. So I'm going to move on to another question in the chat. Valerie, and I'm happy to bring you on, Valerie. And her question is a poor man's copyright legal protection? If you know what a poor man's copyright is.
Yes, I know what it is.
That's a new one for me. So first tell us, what is that?
Well, there's different forms of it, but the concept is the same. The concept is, if I create, let's go to a poem, right? And I type it out, print it out or whatever, put it in an envelope and mail it to myself, right? If I do that, does that give me, is that going to be, that's the poor man's copyright, because remember that's going to be a stamp date to prove when you created it, and it's sealed, right? So that used to be used, but now who's to say when you sealed it, right? How do you prove that? Mm-hmm. And the other piece of it is what I was trying to say earlier. The United States Copyright Office is not interested in playing God and deciding whether or not you have a copyright. If you prove that you created it, you created it. That's it. You prove that. I'm more interested in if someone takes it and it's not registered. You understand? So Valerie, all that, for what you're going to lose in mailing and all that, you might as well just register it. I think it's more work to do it that way.
Yeah. Valerie, your line should be open if you'd like to speak directly with Nzhengha today.
Yes, I do. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. In my country, Jamaica, when you can't get access to the intellectual property office, or you don't have the funds to register your work, this is a temporary measure used, the poor man's copyright, where you write a letter to yourself. Dear Valerie, you have just created an application to teach accounts, blah, 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 but you have not been able to protect it just yet. This letter serves to prove that this is your original work and you want to have it protected. You then seal the letter addressing it to yourself, and you take it to the post office and you have it registered. By that, it tells everyone that what is inside of this envelope is your attempt at saving and protecting your work. And in case someone does infringe on your intellectual property and you go to court, you present the judge with the unopened letter with the seal from the post office, the date on which you registered this poor man's copyright, and it will be the judge who will open the letter in court and read the date on which you wrote the letter, read the contents of the letter to yourself to prove that, yes, this work is actually yours and you wrote this letter before this person stole your work. So in a nutshell, it's rudimentary, but it gives a little sense of assurance that what you have done is at least now in the public's domain, that you are indeed the original producer, writer, whatever, and someone has gone with your work or has stolen it. So I'm asking the question, if this is still legally accepted and acceptable in most courts, wherever in the world you are.
Okay, so what I was saying is that that would be evidence to support your position that you created it, right? That isn't full proof, because like I said, that argument has been dismantled time and time again. But like you said, it would be the judge to decide on credibility. And what I was saying earlier, best case scenario, the judge decides, yes, this is your work and you created it before this person. You're still not going to get the legal fees, and you're still not going to get the royalties or any kind of profits that that person made out of it. You're not going to get that. At most, you'll prove that it's your work. And at most, the court will tell that person, all right, stop using it. Stop. That's their work. That's Miss Dixon's work. You can't use it anymore. But that's it.
Okay. So it would suit you to get to your intellectual property office and actually register your copyright and
Yes.
pay whatever fee there is to have that service done.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
I see. Yes.
Good.
Okay.
And here's the thing: if you have a book or whatever it is that you have inside the envelope and you're making money from it, but you don't have money right now, yes, go ahead and choose the poor man's copyright. Do whatever you think you need to do to make evidence for yourself. But it's not that expensive. So you sell a few copies, you do ask people, whatever, and go ahead and get it registered. Because like I said, there is a leeway with copyright, not patents, but there's a leeway where you can get it going and then hurry up and run back. And like you said, okay, I didn't have the money now, I got it now, let's go. And then you'll avail yourself of all of the protections.
That's
so if someone infringes between the time you created that work and the time you get registered, well, the court will definitely consider the fact that you didn't have money at the time. But remember, the copyright rules are about making money. Every law and act that talks about intellectual property talks about putting your stuff in commerce. So it's like if you didn't make any money off of it and you weren't trying to make money off of it anyway, then what was the point? But if you made something off of it and you weren't smart enough to go ahead and register it, then what's the point? So I think you're going to lose both ways. But like you said, go ahead and create the evidence you need and register as soon as you can.
Okay. Thanks very much.
That was so good. Valerie, great question. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
And isn't Nzhengha just like bam, 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 rapid fire? And you can see her passion about wanting to not only make sure you're protected, but help you make money so you can go create more stuff and live your best life. Like that's what it's all about. All right, I'm going to do one more question, and then we're going to flip the switch, and we have a special announcement for the 3 winners who got their profiles on our brand new website. So I'm going to bring Trish on. Here's your one more question. And everybody go get free ipguide.com. And you know you want it. You know you need it. Just get it. It's free. All right. So the question is, let's see, are logos automatically protected, or do you need to go through the registration process as well?
Yes. Think of a logo as a trademark because that's what it is.
Yep.
So you need to register it. It's not automatically protected.
Perfect.
Like yes, yes, yes. Remember we were using that example earlier,
Yeah.
like little phrases or something that's cute and snappy that you put together. It's not protected just by creating it.
Got it. Yeah. So good. All right. Nzhengha, you rock, man. I'm so grateful that you were here. The feedback I'm getting is many people love this new format, that they can ask questions in a variety of ways. And we got to see your beautiful face this morning as well. And we're going to keep these live in the Facebook group so that you can easily access them and go back to these. So let me do, Nzhengha, thank you so much for being with us.
And I want to encourage everyone to go ahead and get that guide. What we covered here is not really enough, but that guide will give you a heads up on a lot of things that maybe we didn't get to cover today.
Perfect.
Go ahead and download that.
So good, so good. All right, I'm going to bring on Trish Carr, and I know she wants to say something to you, so that's why I was bringing her on right before we switch lanes. So Trish Carr is in the house. Come on, Trish. There she is, but it said
Good morning. Although my name is incorrect, I didn't get a chance to fix that yet, so I will.
Awesome.
Hi, Nzhengha, thank you so much. I mean, this is one of those topics that I'm always confused about, and I'm not sure what to do next. So I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate how easy it is just to reach out to you and get information. And I'm so glad you're going to be doing a training class.
Yes, and I'm glad Nancy's here because I said, you know, I can talk forever about this. You got to help me out because once I start talking about IP, guide me. And I think, thank you, Nancy, you did a great job. You let me get up.
And it's a topic that is, you know, widespread and multi-layered. So it's not like you could even give a simple answer. So I urge everybody who's on this line, all of you are opening your heads and releasing your information to the world. And that is your intellectual property. Yes. So just because you know it doesn't mean everybody else knows it. And you want to protect what you've created. So please, I urge you to reach out to Nzhengha and find out what you need to do to make sure that your property is protected.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Nzhengha Waseme and everybody in the house today. Yay! Thank you, Nzhengha. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stay with us because we have an exciting announcement, and I need to do one thing here. I'm trying to do it, and I'm sure that—
Go ahead and do it, but we're really excited because we have, as many of you know, we launched the new Women's Prosperity Network website, Women's Prosperity Network messaging system, Women's Prosperity Network member directory with your profile, your bio, easy ways to reach you. And everybody, just go to the website at womensprosperityNetwork.com. If you're not yet a member, you can join for free right there. Click free, you'll get a member profile, and you can get started as being an integral part of this community. And that starts with being a part of Women's Prosperity Network. We made it easy for you. When you click free, you don't have to give us a credit card, nothing. Just click free and become a member. And Nancy and I put together a contest. So let me give it to Nancy to talk about that.
All right. So when we launched this new website, and let me just say that, you know, we've been around since 2008. Back in March, we did some focus group sessions and asked our members, how can we serve you better? So this new website, this new portal, member directory trainings, all that we're providing is as a direct result of what our members said they wanted. So we wanted to find a way to thank our members and get them fully engaged in getting their profiles on there, starting to connect with each other. And I love it. Sherry Martin got her profile up, and within 24 hours already had 2 people reach out to her for social media assistance. I know Laura Barker did the same thing. She got her profile up. There's an internal messaging system for our gold members, and she's already got people reaching out to her. Wanting
that's Valerie. She didn't realize she's still on.
Sorry.
That's okay, girl. It's all right, woman. It's all right.
She got it now. So anyway, we ran a little contest, and for everyone who got their profile done by last Friday, we entering their names in a contest, and we're picking 3 winners right now. So I'm going to pull up the wheel of names while Trish describes what do they win, Trish?
Well, what you win is something that is so priceless, and that's the opportunity to speak to lots of people about what you're up to, what you do, and how you make a difference for them. So when you win, one of the 3 of you, there'll be 3 winners. When you win, you and I are going to be doing an interview that's going to be recorded and broadcast live on social media. You will, and I will interview you, and you and I will talk beforehand so you're comfortable. And the interview is about you letting people know what you're about, but not sounding like you're a commercial.
All right, so what I'm hearing is they actually get a coaching session with you,
yes,
to prepare for their interview as well as their interview, and they get a copy of their interview that they can use and repurpose however they want.
Yes,
so
that's exactly right.
Let's pick our first winner. You ready, Trish?
Go ahead, spin the wheel.
All right, so we've got 57 people who all got their profiles done in that time frame, and our first winner is dun, 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 dun.
It's a funky wheel, isn't it?
Jan Osborne.
Oh, Jan, congratulations.
So Jan, if you're here right now, go ahead and come in the chat or put something in the Q&A and I'll bring you on screen. But if not, that's cool too. We will reach out to you and get that scheduled. So, so winner number one, Jan Osborne. Who's ready for me to pull the winner number two?
Me. Go ahead. Number two, go.
I know some intentions are being really set right now. The next winner is Joyce White.
I love it. Yay, the Jays are winning. It's 2 Jays in a row.
2 J's in a row. All right, beautiful. And our third winner is going to be Denny Gillespie.
Yay. I love it. All right, great. So I will be in touch via email later today with the 3 winners. I'll give you a calendar link so we can set up a time to talk, so we can do some preparation. On that call, we'll determine when the best date is for us to do it, and I'm going to work with your schedule. And this is going to be so fun. You're going to have a great time, and people are going to get to know who you are, what you're about, and the difference that you can make for them. Congratulations, everyone. Jan Osborne, Joyce White, and Denny Gillespie.
Woo! Thank you so much. This has been great. We're going to sign off now. We always end our wows at the top of the hour, and there we are. So thank you for everyone for joining us. I'm glad you're enjoying this new platform. Join us again next week. We'll be back with another amazing conversation to support you in being the impact-focused, amazing woman entrepreneur that you are, because we're here to make a difference in the world and to make our lives as best as possible. That's what it's all about. So, hey, just in case you're watching this and you are not a member yet, what you waiting for? Join us. Come on, we're on a movement. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Thank you.